Happy New Year, Merry Christmas. It's fucking on. You understand me? It's Christmas Eve. You thought it was going to be ho-hum? Fuck you. Uncle Joey, Joe Rogan here, fucking live, Christmas Eve, talking about bugs in your house and how easy it is for the feds.
They don't need to bug your house anymore. They just use your phone.
No,
they just turn them. Jamie, tell them what you were telling me about that the AirPods.
Oh yeah, there's a new setting on the new operating system where your AirPods, you turn on this thing called Live Listen, and it's listening to the microphone on your iPhone. So you can leave your phone in a room, walk out, and you just made your own bug. But that means that anybody that can then access your phone could probably also listen if they have access to that. I don't know how strong.
But they've already said, like, if you talk to anybody that knows what's possible with electronics, they can already turn your microphone on anytime they want.
Bro, when I was a kid, I grew up in that bookmaking shit, and there were certain bookmakers that wouldn't talk in a room that there was a phone in the room.
Smart ones.
In the 70s. They would not talk, not on the phone, but if there was a phone in the room, they would leave the room.
Yeah.
And I used to go, these guys are super paranoid. They were 30 years ahead of their time.
Well, you remember how they got Vince in the chin. They started bugging cars along the way where he would walk. He would walk with his bathrobe like he was crazy, and he would give everybody instructions. And he would do it on his walk, so he couldn't get bugged anywhere. So they started bugging the cars along his walk route. That's how they got him.
And they get you at the mic?
Yeah.
With the same microphone they use in the NFL. When you hear all those tackles and grunts, in the old days they had I don't know what the parabolic mic takes vibrations from glass.
Yeah.
So I could just point this laser at your glass with speakers on, and it'll take whatever you're saying in a room and bounce it off the glass.
I've heard it. There's a recording.
This is in the
it.
fucking 80s.
Yeah.
So by now it's world class.
They could do. Well, they're listening to everything. Anything and everything.
When I go in a bathroom on a plane, you have to assume they're watching you. Like I used to go in there and do blast or coke. I would always pull my pants down and go through the whole process like I was shitting. I wasn't really shitting. I just always thought there was a camera there.
Well, you're probably correct.
I've heard things that are just horrid about Vegas in the 80s, how they had cameras in rooms.
Well, Vegas in the 80s was all mob runs.
Vegas in the bathrooms have cameras, so as soon as you do a blast, you come out within 10 minutes, the cops are around you.
When did the mob, like, officially get out of Vegas? Like,
the mob is still in Vegas, just in short spurts. It's crazy. I was in New York last week, and I realized how much construction was going on. And I thought to myself, how much of that is the mob still getting? They had a tax for years, 2%. So if it's a $300 million job, do the math on that. You make a big chunk on that. Trump didn't get rich because the construction business is huge. And you go to New York now, I can't give you accurate numbers because I don't know what numbers are. But look what the average is for a square foot of concrete in New York, and look what the average is in Iowa.
I was reading something about that.
The square foot of concrete to build a building in New York,
it's insane.
The concrete is fucking insane because
so much money.
So many hands are getting fucking greased. You know, you don't pay a job, okay? So you don't pay. It's like that one episode of The Sopranos. So what I do is break your balls. You're a GC. You don't want to pay me my money. That's fine. I send somebody from the union down there. And instead of me doing this, come on through, I got to stop you. I got to take your book. I got to call the union to see if you're paid up with your dues. We check your tire pressure. We count the load. Let's count the windows on the truck. Pretty soon you got 30 trucks backed up, and you're not making any money. That's how they shake you down. That's the shakedown. Oh, you pay me? Okay, the trucks go through. Don't worry what's on them. We don't care who the driver is. We don't care if he's union or non-union. It's such a dirty business at that level. That's the shakedown. So Trump would be the GC on the job. You pay, your job runs smooth. You don't pay. So 2% of it went to the mob, the concrete tax. Then they had like another 2% right off the top to bid rigging, where we give it to Joe Rogan no matter what the price is. We inflate the price. Even though Jamie comes in $3 million cheaper, I'm going to give Joe Rogan that 3 and 2 more. Joe Rogan's going to kick that 2 to me. and we're going to do the job at that $3 million profit plus. I'm going to take 2% off the top of that $3 million profit.
You know what I noticed when I was a kid, when I was working construction? One of the first things I noticed, it's one of the weird businesses that's run almost exclusively by men, like manly men. Like the construction guys were burly dudes with big fucking hands. They worked hard, and they were like, these were like rough guys, but they were running a big business. It's like all these other businesses. If you think about businesses, you think about like computers. You don't think about like rugged, burly guys. But computers and construction are just as common. Like everybody needs a computer. Everybody needs a house. Like construction's everywhere. It's a gigantic business. And it's run, at least back in Boston, when I was working as a laborer, it was run by these big savages. They're fucking big, dangerous guys.
But it's gotten more diverse now because the unions have made you hire more women. When I was an electrician, like 3 months in, there was a female supervisor who knew her shit. Her dad, dad was an electrician. When she was a kid, that was her fucking day job. And men had a tough time working for her. I clicked with her. She was easy. She would leave me the fuck alone.
Well, sometimes men can't. They just have a real hard time with a woman telling them what to do. They would have a hard
time. Me, I didn't mind it at all. I didn't give a fuck. I liked her.
If someone's great at their job, they're great at their job.
They're great at their job.
You just gotta.
I don't give a fuck what their gender is.
That's a weird thing that a lot of guys have, right?
Female trainers.
Yeah.
A lot of people won't go for that.
You know who's got a female trainer? Yoel Romero. One of the baddest motherfuckers of all time.
What is she training him in?
I don't know, man. It's strength and conditioning. She was strength and conditioning training him in this video I was watching. Busting his ass.
Well, even like...
That guy's super savage, you know?
Yeah.
Make sure I'm right about that. Because if it's not Yoel, it's someone equally savage. Someone who's just a fucking super alpha. I mean, no one's a super alpha like Yoel. When we had him in the podcast, I was looking at him sitting there. I was like, this guy is built. It's not even a real person.
It took me 12 hours
jacked.
to get over him. I remember that night we both had spots at the store. And I pulled you aside and I go, what do you really think? What do you really think? I mean, is this guy shooting D-ball? Or is this something that just...
I think it's genetics. I think he has super freak genetics.
Well, when we went to eat, I went to New York last week. I purposely went to La Sorrentina. It's a restaurant in North Bergen, run by this dude named Jocko. Jesus Christ, the spaghetti with the tiny meatballs. I couldn't even finish it. But one of his waiters was a wrestler. Came over in a raft, listened to the podcast, and he was saying how he wasn't that good. He was on the bottom floor. He ate the scraps. But he goes, yeah, I know you well from back there, just last week.
Think about the other super athletes that have come out of Cuba that have gotten into MMA and boxing. Okay, Hector Lombard. Dude, a lot of people, they might look at Hector Lombard because of some of his tough fights that he had in the UFC later in his career. But if you go back and watch Hector Lombard when he was running shit in Bellator, those were probably his prime years. He was the champion in Bellator. I mean, fucking smashing people. At 185 pounds. And then he came over to the UFC. He fought 185, but there's a big-ass 185s in the UFC, man. I mean, Hector is, what do you think, he's 5'9"?
6.
Really? No.
He's not that tall.
No. I think
he looks smaller.
I think he's either my height or, I'm 5'8", he's either my height or he's an inch taller. But he's just so jacked. When he was smashing people, like early in his career, man, I always wanted to get him in the UFC. I was like, this guy needs to come over. He's so athletic, man. He would, and he's a judo player. I mean, look how fucking jacked Hector is. He was a judo player for Cuba. But I'm telling you, man, you could take all the steroids in the world. You're not going to move like this guy moves. Josh Barnett, told me that Hector Lombard, when he went to the gym, could just do muscle up after muscle up. He never even trained it before. You know, it's hard. Jamie will tell you it's fucking hard to do a muscle up. He just grabs that bar. He's a super athlete. He's just had a lot of really, really rough fights against the best fighters in the world. And I really think that some of his best fights, you could say like maybe he was tested more, and I think he certainly was tested more here in the UFC than he was in Bellator. Certainly the caliber of competition is far greater. But I also think fighters have like a window of opportunity for the most part, for most of them. There's exceptions where they can extend that window, but that window, the experts seem to think the window is around 9 years. This is not a number that I invented.
I don't think so.
But it's a number that I agree with. In terms of like the best you have, you might be able to do it for 9 years. Like Fedor.
The longevity of an NFL running back is 3.5 years, which blew my mind.
That's crazy.
That blew my mind. Then I started thinking about it. I thought about all the greats. I thought about Earl Campbell, Jim Brown. I thought about those guys. I thought about their injuries, how lucky you have to be. Okay, now the UFC as a fighter, how many people actually did fight in the UFC for 9 years straight so far? A lot.
There's been quite a few.
A lot. But at the same time, there's been a lot of guys that have had great potential, and by the 4th or 5th fight, they've moved on.
Well, everybody's different. This is the thing. Everybody's different in terms of their ability to recuperate. Everybody's different in terms of their style. Like some guys just don't take much damage. Some like Ben Askren, perfect example. He never fought in the UFC, but when you watch him fight in these other organizations, the thing that's most interesting is that he doesn't take any damage. You could say he's boring if you want to. I don't think it's boring. I think it's super high-level wrestling. And you need to see how that shit would fly against the best in the world. I mean, that's why he's here now. I'm very excited about this. But he's a perfect example of, like, he doesn't have any problems. That guy's been fighting for a long time. You talk to him, he's as lucid as they come. He's articulate, he's very smart, very well educated, reads books all the time. He'll send me recommendations for books. Very, very interesting guy. So you got those guys who, like, he could do it for a long fucking time because he's not taking a beating. When you start taking a beating, man, sometimes guys try to get back in there too soon and they're still hurting, from a fight, like a really bad knockout, or just sometimes even just getting beaten up is worse. Like even if you don't get stopped, like you incur more damage that way, in a long ass fight than you would in a quick KO. Like. In Glory, Joseph Valtellini, do you know that guy?
Yes, I know
Bazooka Joe? He was their champion, and he won the title against Mark DeMont. After the fight, couldn't fight again. Because his concussions were so bad, he couldn't look at the light from an iPhone charger, like a laptop charger. The little light from that thing would be blinding to him. He had to be like in a dark room for 3 weeks. CBD oil brought him out of it.
When I think of fighters and what happens during a fight, I go back all the way to Bernard Hopkins against Felix Trinidad. Because you brought it up to my attention. I never even knew about that world.
Ooh.
He never came back the same
Never was
fighter.
The same.
Who's the guy that went the distance that's now in Bellator? Fights out of GSP's camp. Really tough guy. Went 5 rounds with fucking... what's his name, and Rory McDonald.
Rory, yes.
Rory, after that fight that he had, he was never really the same type
The
of
Robbie
fighter.
Lawler
The
fight?
Robbie Lawler fight. Fights affect you in different ways. The beating you take affects you in different ways. I want to see what the kid that Edson Barboza fights with next time, how he comes out. He took a ferocious beating against Edson.
Yeah.
That last fight before Al Alaquinta and Kevin Lee.
See, but Rory, I got to disagree because after that fight, he looked fucking phenomenal in Bellator. In his first, who was his first fight in Bellator? Was it Paul Daly? He fought.
But then the next fight he didn't do
Lima's
well.
a beast, though, dude.
Yeah,
He fought
Lima's
Lima.
a beast. Lima's
Lima's a
too
monster, man. Douglas Lima's a fucking straight up killer.
And in comedy sometimes.
Was it Paul Daly? Yeah. So he manhandled Paul Daly.
Right.
It was a very smart fight because he fought really well on his feet first, threatened Daly a little bit on his feet, and then took him down and dominated him on the ground. And it was a very impressive win. But then he fought. See, fighting Mousasi, I think, was probably not the. But you never know. You got to test yourself. And there's only one way to do that, and he knows better than anybody. I mean, the guy's in it to test himself. Now he knows that he can't beat Mousasi, at least at this point in his life. Yeah, but he's a smart kid, man. He's an animal, too. I mean, that guy is so
No,
focused.
I'm not saying anything. I just thought that a lot of times after battles, people don't come back the same.
I agree on some of them, but I don't agree with him.
The guy from Texas that took GSP to the fucking zoo and fought him
Johnny
all the way
Hendricks.
there.
Yeah.
He never came. You know, some people give it all you got.
Yep.
That give it all you got moment. It's how to react after that. What's going to happen? How is Kevin Lee going to come back?
Yeah.
Against Iaquinta? You always have those questions, which is a great fight, by the way.
Amazing fight.
You know, the fight I was most excited about this weekend was Michael Chiesa, Carlos Conduit.
Right. It's a good
Let's
fight.
see what Carlos Conduit. You know, Carlos Conduit been around for a long fucking time.
His name is Condit, but
Condit. He knows I'm his brother and I'm one of his biggest fans. And if I was in the mafia, I'd hire him from the UFC a long time ago because he's an assassin.
he's like
He
a real
really
life
is.
John
You
Wick.
just give him a gun with a silencer
Yeah.
and a pencil and let him do the rest. Go down there. You could switch his mind quick with 600,000 a week.
I want to say that his UFC was it his debut against Brock Larson. Was that his debut, or was that in the WEC? I feel like that was in the WEC. I feel like his debut was against shit. Was it Jake? Martin Kampman was his debut.
That's what
there
I
it
thought.
is. Okay.
In Nashville. They fought in Nashville.
Yep.
But he
Who the
fought
fuck
Jake
did they get to
Ellenberger
get
too,
those?
right?
Yeah.
Jake Ellenberger
Next
that was Jake Ellenberger's first fight in the UFC. Yeah, dude, Jake Ellenberger was another one, man. Super fucking dangerous for a long time, man. You ever see before he fought in the UFC when he knocked out Pele with one punch?
Let me tell you something. He caught a beating in my office about 3 weeks ago. He came into my office, and he's the nicest guy in the world.
I heard
Jake
you
Ellenberger.
dosed him up.
I gave him a bong hit of this shit that was 31%. He couldn't answer questions.
Oh, no.
Dog, it was like fucking, he's the best. The poor bastard. He didn't know how to drive home.
Yeah, folks.
He Ubered home. Nada was not around. Rocca was not around. They would have broke their system for a week. If you think Brock Lesnar's system disappeared in the fucking system, whatever. Oh my God, poor Jake Ellenberger. We took him deep.
I haven't seen it, but I've heard.
He told me, he goes, I don't smoke much. I go, then do a little bong hit. And I asked him a question after that. He was just frustrated. I love him to death. He's coming back on to redeem himself. He said he's never smoking again, but that was his toughest battle.
Yeah, you can't. That's too much. Most people can't.
That's a 3-foot bong.
Well, not only that, Joey, for most people that don't do podcasts all the time, getting on your podcast is a mind fuck. They're like, I can't believe I'm here. I'm sitting here with Uncle Joey. Holy shit. And then, boom, that 30, how many percent?
31.
That's so high.
That was Alien OG.
This is in just as a, for people that don't know the numbers. Let's find out what the numbers actually are. Like, what percentage THC was marijuana in the 1970s? I want to say it was like 8 to 10.
Probably. And then
I'm just guessing,
It's
right?
so funny how, okay, I grew up in New York, New Jersey. So I would go to Harlem. And what we had available to us was Panama Red, Colombian Gold. I could be verse of verse. I could be wrong on the names. And then you had from Jamaica, you had this weed called lamb's bread. And then all of a sudden in the 80s, this green weed came along. And they called it Sensimilla. So I was copping on 148th Street then. And he would either sell you chocolate tie, which is lamb's bread, or he would sell you Sensimilla. Or he would put them together and call it the Master Mix. And if you bought 10 bags of the Master Mix, you got one for free. He gave you a punch card. This is why Narcos...
He gave you a real punch card?
Yeah, 1982, 83. The guy was in the middle of the corner hanging out. And the funny thing was, I went back in 85, and he looked me straight in the face, and he's like, there ain't no motherfucking weed on this block no more, dog. Crack. Like it had just converted to crack. But... this is why I told you that watching that Narcos Mexico, those first 2 episodes is so important because it's like sometimes when you watch a TV show, it's really hard to believe that one day some Spanish guy that couldn't even speak English said, hey, how come there's not 3 cameras here? His name is fucking Luis Desi Arnaz. Desi Arnaz invented the 3-camera shoot. Did you know that?
That's hilarious.
That Desi Lou Productions, all that shit.
He invented that?
He's the one that said, why is there 8 white people sitting around? Get 2 more cameras. Let's go. On delay. Oh. The guy the principal guy in Narcos this year is a character who grew weed in the desert. I want you to think about that. It had never been even thought of before. But by doing that, I don't know the science, so please, Joe Rogan, people, don't torture me. He eliminated the male plant to make the female stronger. The only way you could grow that is in the desert. So he found water in the desert.
Why is it the only way you can grow in the desert? Something about the climate?
So that it's like the Immaculate Conception.
Whoa.
You get pregnant without getting pregnant, so you eliminate the male plants or something. I do not know this.
We've got to hide this information from women. Right? We have to hide this information from women.
So there's no seeds, and the reefer gets stronger. That started in the 80s. That's why if you watch Narcos Mexico, it shows you how that whole thing started. Oh. And they were pumping 15 metric tons a year into the United States of this shit. Wow. So green weed became the Mexican green weed was what we started smoking. I got to say that average was maybe 15 then, like the strongest. And then there's weeds now that I buy that are 21%. That they take me to the fucking mountain. But that 28 and above in a bong, you're doomed.
Yeah.
You're stuttering, you're mumbling, you fucking can't focus. I like that feeling at night when I listen to music. I'm a big music, like one night I called you, like it was like October 3rd, and I was going to call you to tell you that I'd love to participate in Sober October, but because of my love for music, it's not going to happen. Because my thing is to go home at night, or sometimes I go to the office. Like I told you, my house is dead at 20 to 9. The kid goes to bed at fucking 8:30, and my wife's in bed 10 minutes later. So some nights I don't have a spot, I don't have a podcast. I just go to my office. I bring a notebook on an iPad, and I get stoned, and I put an old album on, and I go down an album road, and I just get fucked up and listen to that music. I love it, Joe Rogan. That's my hobby. And once a week I go to the album store, and I buy a new album, a new vinyl album. Lately I went down that Led Zeppelin 2 road. That's one of the greatest, dirtiest, filthiest albums. And it opens up with a whole lot of love. It's just dirty. And then the Lemon Song. And then Heartbreaker. It's just dirty.
Damn.
And then I've been listening to fucking Physical Graffiti. I love going into those foxholes late at night, stoned to the gills.
Yeah, there's something about that music. They were the first drug culture music in America, right? If you think about it. Like Zeppelin and Pink Floyd.
The Beatles showed up
the
clean.
Beatles.
Then they went to India. They grew long hair, and they came back with those 4 albums. Then there was Rumors of Acid. If you listen to the one, I think it's Revolve, one of those. John Lennon spreads acid, blah, 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 and then that was it.
I mean, there's a lot of musicians from that era that are great that aren't associated with drugs. But if you think of Hendrix, Hendrix was always associated with drugs, right? Janis Joplin, always associated with drugs. Good or bad, it's very interesting. It's very interesting. The sound is it lasts. Like, it's so relevant. If you listen to some Zeppelin today, it's still so goddamn good. They were so good.
So good.
They were so good.
There's a song on Zeppelin 2 called Bring It On Home at the end. He comes out like with a harmonica slow. Then Jimmy Page kicks in with the guitar. Your heart stops.
Yeah.
Like your heart stops. Like you're like, do I jump out a window? Like Led Zeppelin 2, there's a couple albums I got in that office that I put on that are such a part of my childhood. Like, I think about my mom coming in the room yelling, lower that fucking devil music. You know what I'm saying? Like, buy esa música, cojones. And I would blast it at fucking 6 in the morning. The neighbors next door were Jehovah's Witnesses. And he would knock on my door. You have to please lower your music. I never lowered it. At that age, I had a Fisher stereo. Okay? And I already knew not to get components. Like, I was already hip. Like, I never bought the album with the 8-track and the cassette. Fuck you. I bought an amp, and I bought a cassette deck, and I had a turntable. And I would fucking blast it. I don't know where I got the speakers from. I bought them. They fell off a truck. I love music loud. I still, every time, till this day, every time Led Zeppelin's final album comes out, In Through the Outdoor comes on the radio or something, I think of my mother banging on the door freshman year going, if I got to knock on this door one more time, I'm throwing that stereo out the window. Like 7 in the morning, I had it at full fucking speed, rolling a joint, getting ready to walk up the hill, smoking a joint. I wouldn't smoke at the house, nothing like that. She had no idea.
Were you playing albums with a record player?
Yeah. Fuck it. I still do it.
Needle? Did you have a good needle? Remember you would go over dudes' houses, they had a special needle.
I had
Where'd
a
you get
good
that
needle. I just went and got new needles. I had to order them online.
Do you remember that, though? Like,
fuck
you'd be
yeah.
impressed if a guy had like a fucking cool-looking needle.
I had a friend that had a reel-to-reel.
Jimmy, do you actually remember this?
Yeah, I mean, I had a record player at my house, for sure.
Wow. You had a reel-to-reel?
A friend of mine had a reel-to-reel in high school.
Oh, my God.
And the sound, he bought the speakers and everything, and the sound, you could hear like the musician pulling away from the microphone. Like his sound was that good.
So when he's playing this reel to reel, he's got like a projector screen type deal?
No, he would have
sound.
He had a room like this, and he had a shelf, and on the shelf he had speakers, and he had a reel to reel.
I think I've seen that.
He would
forever.
connect it, and it would have 2 or 3 hours of music on it. So whenever he would have a party, he would just put on the reel to reel.
Wow.
At that time, that was the threat. That it's going to reel to reel.
What does that look like? That's what I'm talking about. It looks like a projector, right?
It's going to reel. That's the new threat.
That's crazy.
That never made it. Then it went from albums to cassettes to fucking CDs.
So if you put something through that, you would have to kind of like do it like you were working in a projection room. You take the
it's just
film
magnetic tape.
from one of them, and
it works almost. It's just really large cassette tape player.
I just
Okay.
forget
Same
how
thing.
he put the music on there.
could you buy music on it?
I think so at that
There's a
time.
record button on this too. It looks like so you could have recorded something on there if you had a cable to plug it into it.
Yeah, I forget how.
How would they make copies?
The same way you'd put your original would be like on the left. You'd have to feed it. You'd need a copier. You couldn't do it with this machine probably.
But
So
back,
like the same way people did with VCR copies back in the early '80s. You know,
Oh,
tape,
right.
tape to tape. You'd
is it the same thing? How it would degrade?
Yeah,
Like
for
with
sure,
each
for sure.
generation.
Yeah,
Remember,
yeah.
you'd get porns from your friend, and it was like someone threw mud in your eye. You try to watch what the fuck is happening on the screen because it was so many generations of copied.
Do you remember when porn was watched like this?
I don't remember it, but I heard about it, and I remember that movie about the dude from Hogan's Heroes. That was he was on Hogan's Heroes, and after Hogan's Heroes, he just went around making his own homemade porn. And he had one of these kind of things, one of the home projector type deals.
Porn in those days, if you went to the back of a dirty magazine, not Playboy and not Penthouse, but anything else, they would actually send you a projector with 3 movies for, say, $14.95. It was a low-end projector. It's probably going to work 10 times, but at least you got to watch porn. And they'd send you a reel-to-reel. That was so bad. Porn was so bad. And I still remember a story with me and my friends chipping in and getting the fucking reel-to-reel with the thing and plugging it in the wall and putting sheets on the windows. And it was just horrible, horrible porn. Like chicks they would find off the streets, flapjack titties, somebody turned cigarettes off on the chest.
Oof.
And this chick was half on drugs, and she had to suck the guy's dick. And the most vivid picture I remember is when she took the mayonnaise with the bread. Like, she was sucking this guy's dick. The guy's dick had been beat up. And she took mayonnaise, Miracle Whip. That's why I never liked Miracle Whip. She put it on the bread and made a dick sandwich and put it into his dick. And it was like me and 3 other 12-year-olds. Dog, we almost had a heart attack. Do you understand me? Like, our heads blew up. Like, turn it off, turn it off, turn it off, turn it off. Turn it off. Who wants this fucking projector?
Like that?
No. It was a cheap little projector. You had to put a sheet up on the wall and use it as a screen. You had to fucking shade up all your windows in the attic, because I used to do it in my attic because my mother wasn't home. So the first viewing party we had was in my attic. You had to send a money order, and you had to send $1.95 for shipping and handling, S&H. And then it would take 6 weeks to delivery. So you would just you couldn't send it to your house. So I would have to send it to Rogan's house because I knew his mother and his grandmother worked all day. So they'd never be home. So they would just drop the package off in front of your house. If one of our mothers found that package, we'd be dead. We'd be fucking dead. Can you imagine your mother putting it on and all of a sudden some chick puts Miracle Whip on a piece of bread and eats into the fucking your dick with
Don't you think moms today probably wouldn't even flinch?
What?
If they found their kid with something like that on his
Are
computer?
you fucking kidding me? Every mom, you talk to any mom of a 15-year-old and go, do you think your son's getting laid? She's like, stop it. I don't want to hear that.
It's true.
No mom wants to hear their son getting laid. The first girl you brought over the house actually bothered your mother.
Oh, I'm sure.
The first 2 girls you brought home actually bothered and irritated the shit out of your mother. It took your mom a while because you're always going to be that little boy. I can't imagine him getting his dick sucked. I just put diapers on him 10 years ago.
You know what else they worry about? They worry about you getting somebody pregnant because you're so stupid. When you're 15, 16, 17, you guys are just doing stupid shit, you know? You don't really know how to pull out that good. How good are you at that? Not very good. You know, when you were that young, I mean, your parents are worried about you doing something dumb. Your parents are worried about you getting pregnant, but they also don't want you having sex.
I had this skinny girlfriend. Like, I always had girls that were friends. And after the girls would leave, my mom would pull me aside and say, what's going on? I go, nothing, she's just a friend. And I would stream out of the house. I can't believe it, and they were friends. But there was this one skinny girl that I used to bring over in the 7th grade. And my mother caught us one afternoon. Like, she caught us making out. So she asked me as a man, she goes, from now on, do me a fucking favor. If she's here and I'm downstairs, just leave the door open. My mom was one of those, dog. She was one of those. Just do me a favor. Just for me to leave something. When I leave, lock the door. But if I'm here, just leave the door open. And I would leave it open a foot and then try to 8-inch it, 6-inch it. And she would have to come up and say, oh, Antonio, what did I tell you? Leave the fucking door open. And then you're an animal at that age. So at that age, you finally talk them into them. Because all I was doing was dry humping this girl. That's all I was doing. We weren't having sex. I think I sucked the tits one time. We weren't having sex. We were just making out and dry humping. But one day, my mom had the bar stool, and she would just fucking come home in the afternoons to see if I was with this broad. And one day I didn't hear her, and she brought one of her friends up with me, one of her friends with her. And I'm in there just swapping spit with the chick, but I hear something on the wall. Like something's going on. But I kept dry humping her. We had Earth, Wind, and Fire on. Can't Hide Love. Great fucking album off That's the Way of the World. I'm dry humping this chick to death. And all of a sudden I hear a ladder slip. And a guy starts yelling, ah, ah. And I ran downstairs, and there was one of my mother's friends, Arnardo. He used to be a bookie at my mother's bar. So my mother goes, I got to get to the bottom of this. I got to know if this kid's getting laid. So he volunteers to put the ladder at the side of the house to see if I'm getting laid, to look in the window.
Oh, my God.
I had an air conditioner with a curtain. He could never see in anyway. But this girl pissed off my mom for years. This went on for about a year. And then I started taking his shirt off and sucking the tits. And my dad came home one day and caught him in the closet. And that was the end. And then my mom would give me shit for a little while. I got to be 12, 13. I'm in the 6th grade. Me and this girl would watch the Osmonds on Friday and Saturday, Donnie and Marie. And I would get pissed off because she had a crush on fucking Donnie. You're a kid. And then one day, but then we figured out, fuck, if they're going to watch us after 3, why don't we play hooky from 12 to 3? We could dry hump for 3 hours and nobody will know your grandmother works. My mother's definitely not coming home. So we used to play hooky, and one day they caught us. And her and I had there was 20 feet between us on a fence. their parents had a house right behind mine. And my mom went into the backyard like the fucking Spanish woman that she is and started yelling, "Your daughter's a whore."
Oh, no.
She's over here every day. I don't know what they do in that room. I hope she's not sucking his dick.
Oh, my God.
My daughter was my son was a regular little boy until your daughter took over. And I used to walk her home, and I remember walking in the house, and the mom was like, "Can I talk to you for a second? Your mom's out there yelling horrible things about my daughter, calling her a whore and shit."
Wow.
I had to go home and tell my mom, "Oh, what's up with that? She's a fucking whore." But it drove my mom crazy. That woman drove my... And after I got a girlfriend, then no more problems after that. It was just this skinny chick that drove my motherfucking crazy.
Hey, they made you, man. I mean, imagine you have a little boy, and you take him to the park, and he's a cute little fella, and he runs, and he stumbles, and he falls down, and he cries, and you pick him up, and he hugs you, and you love him. And you're like, "It's okay, you just scrape your knee, it's okay." And he's crying and crying. You feel so bad. You feel so bad. And you get him a Band-Aid, and you give him a kiss, and talk to him and hang out with him. And then he goes to sleep. And you sit there, and you look at him sleep, and you think about how precious he is, this little life form that you're entrusted with. You got to take care of. And 15 years later, someone's sucking his dick. Some dirty little girl down the block. God damn it. Look at that. Now he's all into her all the time and obsessed with her. It's driving you nuts. That was your baby. Your baby stuck with some tramp. Dirty little tramp.
I mean, you and I have daughters. You and I have daughters, which is that's a hell on earth. Having a daughter is hell on earth. It's fun now. It's cute. She puts costumes on. She loves daddy. She watches TV. But there's going to come a day she wants to go to the mall with her friends, and you have to let her, and you have to worry.
Yeah.
And it's not the same world, so, you know.
The world is not the same now, and it's not going to be the same when they're older. It's getting weirder and weirder. You know, people are getting... You know, we were talking earlier about bugs and searches and people being able to turn your microphones on. It is a matter of time before there's no privacy. Whether it's 50 years, whether it's 100 years... And I mean, I think there's going to be no privacy with anything. I don't think with your thoughts. I think we're going to, the next thing after cell phones is going to be something that allows us to communicate way easier. Within the next 50 years, they're going to come up with some way where we're going to be able to all communicate through a device. And it's going to be better than just talking. We're going to share thoughts. It's going to get really fucking strange. I'm 100% convinced. I think all this stuff is just everything accelerates, right? It used to be really hard to get a hold of somebody. Now it's really easy to get a hold of somebody. And now people have figured out ways to turn people's microphones on and record them. And people are just putting tape over their webcam. I don't want anybody looking while I'm jerking off. Like they think someone's going to look through from the other side. They probably can. It's going to be a matter of time before everybody can, with everything you do. There's going to be all information available to everybody. This is going to happen. We're so far away from where we were in the 70s. We're so far away.
So far away. So
far away. And that was our lifetime. We can remember the 70s. You know? 1973, I was 6 years old. Okay, I remember that.
I remember 10.
I remember the Vietnam War. I remember when the war ended thinking when I was a little kid, this is great that the war's over because now they know that war is bad and they won't do any war anymore. The war is over. It's gone. And then when the war started up again, I think I was 21, when Desert Storm kicked in, I was like, holy shit, they're doing it again. Me and my friend Jimmy DiTilio, we had an apartment in, I think it was where were we? Malden or some shit? I forget where the fuck we were. Waltham. That's where we were. We were in Waltham. We had this fucking apartment, and we were sitting there on TV. We were just sitting in front of the living room. I didn't think we had a couch. We were just sitting there in the living room watching these fucking missiles flying through the air. And I'll never forget. He goes, buddy, looks like we're at war. And I was like, what? How the we were both sitting there going, what? How the fuck? We're at war? I thought we didn't do that anymore. I remember that. I remember that whole, that time when that was how you got information from the TV is so far removed from today. Today, everything that happens all the time is coming at you 100 miles an hour from every direction. There's just too much to keep up with.
You have to control it, though. You have to control it. You still have to have a life. You still, I don't have Facebook on my phone. I have my email account. I try to keep Twitter off my phone. When I go on the road, the iPad has no Twitter and no Facebook. It's too much. It's too much, and it interferes with who we are. And if you haven't caught that by now, you're not catching this. I'll open up my Twitter on a Saturday just to see who's tweeting. Thinking to myself, what are you doing with your fucking life? That you're tweeting on Friday and fucking Saturday and Sunday.
It becomes a little game, man.
It's a little game. You have to give it a breather. It's too much news coming at you. From 202 on your satellite disc.
You know what the other thing is?
It's too much news. From sports to world news, you got HLN, CNN, and then ESPN. All in a fucking row. It's too fast. It's too quick. Last week when I was home, my buddy is a cab driver. I took 6 Ubers on Monday in New York. Tuesday, I just wanted to take a cab. I took my wife to get some real pizza at Roma Pizza. The guy that was making pizza there was still there when I was a kid. I drove by one day and I go, he's still in there? So we took a fucking cab. On the cab, this guy that drove me is a friend of mine. We grew up together since we were 12. And we were talking. I go, that's the first gas station I robbed. And then he goes, remember when we were 12, when we were walking home the night Freddie Prinze got killed?
Wow.
Freddie Prinze had killed himself the night before. We didn't find out till that 6 o'clock news. Do you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like, that was the gap in time.
Mm-hmm.
So you got your news, and even though that was New York, it was the city capital, who watched TV in the morning? Maybe they mentioned it in the morning. Reports out of L.A., Freddie Prinze is in the hospital.
Yeah, but you never saw it.
But no, I remember us being out and them saying Freddie Prinze died. He shot himself last night. And I still remember how cold it was. It was January or February. It was fucking freezing. But we were walking home. We were 12. And what do we see in front of us but a guy passed out drunk? Just hammered, drunk on the floor. So we're like, hold on, let's get the money out of his pocket. You take the bottle. It was like a bottle of like Doers or whatever. So our plan was to take a bottle and shake a bum. What's it called? You roll a bum?
Yeah.
And we put our hand in his pocket and he grabbed one of us like Carrie. So next thing you know, all 3 of us just started kicking him. Like we must have kicked him 82 times.
Oh, my God.
And we ran away in a bottle. He got up and chased us.
Oh, Jesus.
But we knew his shirt pad through the cemetery, so we lost him. Like, you get all those weird things. Like, that's what I associate with. Like, Freddie shot himself at night. They must have mentioned it in the morning. I was too busy going to school, and it wasn't confirmed till the next day. That's how slow news was.
Yeah.
Now, you're getting news. You're getting hit with 200 stories in 10 minutes.
Yeah.
What happened in France, what Trump decided, what the UFC is doing, what fucking Penny Marshall died. You're getting through this thrown at you all day, and you really can't control it. It's like your child. You've watched these 2 young girls grow up. You ever have days where you take them somewhere, Disney, and it's so much information they got to go back and take a nap?
Yeah.
That happens to us still, too.
Yeah.
That's got to be happening to us.
Well, for sure. It's wearing you out. And it's a lot of it is really negative, too. You know, that's another part of the problem is what's interesting to people is what's dangerous, and there's not much dangerous. So what's interesting to people becomes, being negative, being nasty about something, complaining about things, bitching about that, starting Twitter fights. Like, people enjoy doing it. They're looking for battles. And I wish there was a way where people could choose to only engage online without insulting people and just trying to get a rise out of people, like a troll-free way of interacting. But it's never going to happen. So you got to kind of accept what it is. So if you accept what it is, you should be very wary about entering to anything where 60% of what you're experiencing is negative. Anything in life where you're looking at 60% negative. You don't have to. Like being informed is one thing, but that's more than just being informed. Because how much of that information is even valuable to you? A lot of it is just getting soaked into these fucking horrible stories. You know, I mean, I went down a rabbit hole the other day reading about these Scandinavian tourists that got beheaded in Morocco in the mountains. These girls were hitchhiking, and they went. It's fucking horrible. It's horrible stuff, man. Then I watched a video of it. It's horrible.
Joe Rogan, you know I love you. Rule number 1, don't go hitchhiking in Morocco. Mind your fucking business. You know what I'm saying?
These girls apparently did this all over the world. Yeah.
You talk about a guy that fucking went somewhere and tried to convert a tribe. You know, and he showed up with a fucking Bible. You know, mind your business. All right, send the fucking Bible via airmail and do the best you can. There's some people who want to put themselves in danger's way.
They don't think they know.
I
man.
fucking hate
You're
all
right.
that shit. I fucking hate all that shit. I like controlling my situation. I really do. I don't want to sound shallow. I would love to be able to have a passport and go to China and go to Italy. But I'm not going nowhere where there's nothing fucking crazy going on. I don't need that in my life.
Right.
I don't want to hear a bomb when I'm fucking sleeping when I'm in Israel. Talked to Ari the other day. You can hear bombs going off and shit. Fucking Ari's like telling me jokes on the phone. You hear, and you hear a bomb going off and shit. I don't need that. I don't need none of that shit. That's putting yourself in harm's way. You know, and I appreciate the balls. I appreciate the balls of you climbing up Mount Najero. I appreciate all that stuff. But it's not in my percentage graph. I believe in percentages. You understand me?
I get it.
So, it's just, you know, the other night I read something. I get high at night, guys. I do comedy, and to come down, I smoke 55 fucking bong hits. Sometimes you don't have to say a joke on Twitter. The joke is written. When you read it as a human being, you're saying, this is a very interesting article, but at the same time, it does have elements of humor in it. There's an article of a hot chick, and it says, mother goes to court to complain about teacher who fucked a 15-year-old kid because his life has changed. It's never been the same since she fucked him. Sure it hasn't. The kid's never going to get his dick sucked like that again. Can you imagine getting a teacher to blow your horn when you're in high school, one of those dirty teachers? Did you see the picture of a Joe Rogan with a fish on a boat with a bikini? Now you take this chick to the prom and she's sucking your dick crying. You know what I'm saying? Like, I've never done this before. You know what I'm saying? Like, reluctant. Sure, his life has changed.
Yeah.
It's a joke. Dog, I got attacked for 2 days, and I didn't re-attack people. I turned it around on them. I called them love, and I said Merry Christmas, and they had nowhere to go. It's so funny that you could get caught in that. They forget we're comedians. We are a tube that transports something really ugly into something that's still ugly, but a little bit of funny to it.
Yeah.
I cracked a joke when I found my mother dead on the floor to myself.
What'd you say?
I knew she was never going to know I got left back. Because I got left back, but I never told her. And it was coming on a year that I had to tell her. She kept asking me, have you chosen a college yet? And I'm in sophomore year. For 3 years, I ran a scam on my mother that I didn't tell her. She thought I was a junior. I was really a sophomore. So as soon as I made that turn, I picked her up. I saw her arm was purple. I kissed her forehead, but I remember popping up and going, I knew this bitch wasn't going to ever find out I got left back. Before I dialed 911. So if I dropped humor at that situation, that's how I fucking handle myself.
Well, that's how you alleviate pressure in your life.
Yeah, you have to drop humor. Yeah. I will drop a bomb on you at a funeral, Joe Rogan. I will drop a bomb on you at a funeral that you will look at me and go, Joe Diaz, the ball's on you, but thank God you came.
Did I ever tell you what Dave Foley said when Phil Hartman didn't win an Emmy?
What?
We were all in the audience, right? We went there to honor him because he got nominated, and the dude from Frasier won. And Dave Foley, he turns to me and Stephen Root. He goes, "What the hell does he have to do to win?" He goes, "He got shot, for fuck's sake." Dave Foley's a funny motherfucker.
It really is. People have no idea. When I see people arguing now, like now as a 55-year-old, you look at it and you go, I threw away 20 years of my life arguing with people.
Yeah.
That I had no reason to argue with them for. It's not even worth it. If they played the tape back, you'd laugh at yourself and feel horrible. You look at shit now and you go, how does this even affect your life? I watch those CNN, like when you're in a hotel room on the weekends. You know, you go down to CNN or HNBC political pipe hole. I love those for 6 minutes to see people get fired up and they attack each other, and and everybody's fucking bullshitting. But you sit there and you go, what is the big fucking deal? No matter if fucking Hitler makes a comeback and he's president, you all got to get up and go to work every morning. It's not like they're giving you money anymore. It's not like somebody's giving you money or they're putting you in a house for free. If Fidel resurfaces from the grave and he's the president, you still got to work. You still got to build houses. You still got to announce the UFCs. You still, so what? How much does it really affect you? At least that's how I've always thought.
The problem with all these shows is all of them, whether it's CNN or Fox News or anything, is that they're leaning. They're leaning somewhere. They're leaning they're telling you about the news, but they're leaning on it in a way. They're not just simply recording the facts, especially Fox News, right? They lean. Like
I don't know.
Hard right.
I don't know what you guys are talking about when you say that, but I will tell you one
Really?
thing. Yeah, when people talk to me about left and right, I have no idea because I don't even know where I stand on most issues. But guess what I didn't see in New York and New Jersey last week?
What?
Take a guess of what I did not see. Homeless people.
Really? Maybe because it's so cold.
I was homeless for
December.
fucking 19 days in New York in December, from December 12th to the 31st. I got a hotel room maybe 50% of the time, but beside that, I was homeless at one time in 1984. And I asked people, and you go, no, you just don't see them. I saw very small sections of not encampments, but the homeless percentage was smaller. So I asked somebody what that is. How come I have so many homeless people out here? And they said it's called because they're liberals. I didn't fucking know that's what a liberal was. I had no idea.
You mean California's liberal?
Yeah, I just try to be a human being. I don't know.
That doesn't make sense. It's like, what does that mean then? Where do the homeless go? Do we make more of them out here? Is that what he's saying?
Do you allow it that Las Vegas? He was telling me that Las Vegas ships their homeless, gives them a bus to California, and $25.
That might be true.
And with the I feel like the shipping is about busing people to like Alaska for a little while or something like that.
Yeah,
a couple years ago.
somebody like that.
Do you remember
Something like that was going.
you saw the TV show Wild Wild Country? Did you see that?
No.
It's on the Ragnish. Is that how you say it? Ragnish cult from Oregon. And one of the things they did they took over the town.
Oh, yeah, I've heard about it and watched it.
Homeless people in buses, and then had all those people vote. And then they took over the fucking town. They like developed a real town. And then they took over this one area. Bust out how America moves its homelessness. Whoa. Each year, U.S. City gives thousands of homeless people one-way bus tickets out of town. An 18-month nationwide investigation by The Guardian reveals for the first time what really happens at Journey's End.
Nice.
Whoa. That sounds like a M. Night Shyamalan movie, right? They kill a bunch of homeless people. Like Satan's involved. It's like they just move them away. Where do they ship them?
I don't know.
Looks like they're throwing them down in Miami and in L.A.
Well, I lived in Colorado. In Colorado, the homeless people would commit crimes. They figured out what crimes they would get 60 days for. And they would commit that crime, plead guilty, do the 60 days just to get out of the winter. Because in those days, Boulder would give you tobacco. You were allowed. They would give you tobacco, but you had to roll it.
Really?
That type of shit. Yeah, Boulder County Jail. In 1991, Boulder County Jail and some other jail were voted number 1 and 2 jails in the country.
Wow.
That people would want to go to those jails. Then Boulder built a new jail, and it became fucking communist land, like Aspen.
Communist land? What do you mean?
Yeah, like no cigarettes. Everybody had to wear uniforms. No more staying up till 2 in the morning. When I
What
was
was wrong with the other way?
Boulder County Jail.
The way what was good, the good way.
Oh, Boulder County Jail was a paradise.
Well, what was wrong with that?
It got out.
It got out that it was too nice.
Right. So, like I'm telling you, homeless people would commit a crime to do 60 days.
Can I ask you something
Go
about
ahead.
this?
Go
As a
ahead.
person who's been in jail,
Go ahead.
would it motivate you more? This is an honest question. Would it motivate you more if you were in jail and it was nice and comfortable in there and you got to relax and calm down? Or would it motivate you more if they brought you into some communist type jail as you described it, where everybody had to wear uniforms, there was no cigarettes, there was no fun, they limited your outside time?
I did them both.
What do
did
you
'em-
think, as a person who's been through, what would be most effective in rehabilitating you? I mean, that's the idea, right?
I
Is
don't
to punish
give a
and rehabilitate.
If right now you said to me, you got to stay in this fucking building for 6 months. This is going to be your jail. This is like Pablo Escobar's jail. It's still jail. I want you to remember that.
Right.
You cannot leave the building for 6 months. I will let you go out to the front in a cage 1 hour a day. But you got to figure out what you're going to do in here for 12 months. It's a cage. Yes, I have more options here. I could lift weights. I could do different parts of my body. I could shoot pool, blah, 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 blah. Boulder was very simple. Boulder, you got locked up. They gave you linens. You either took them or you didn't. Now I want to get my own clothes. So you called home. At lunchtime, Joe Rogan brought me my jeans, my sneakers, my T-shirts. I'm wearing my own clothes. So now they determine what you are in for, nonviolent or violent. If you're a nonviolent offender, the world is yours.
The violent ones are the ones that get lumped in with
Okay,
the other
so-
violent ones.
So now the violent offenders, depending on what you do as violent, you go into one sector. And that sector, the longer you're in there, the more rewards you get. So if you're in green, you stay up till 10, and they got cable TV. If you're red, you stay up till 11, and they got cable TV. If you're purple, you stay up till 1.
1 a.m.
Oh, my God, Boulder County Jail was tremendous.
1 a.m. and TV. And cigarettes.
I didn't drink milk. Milk is big in jail because the bodybuilders like milk. It's like fucking drugs.
Really?
So I would trade you my milk for your Kool-Aid. All right? So I was in there drinking fucking Kool-Aids and shit because I fucking hate milk. Boulder was a paradise compared to other jails. Oh, listen to this. Thanksgiving Day, was I locked up Thanksgiving Day? Yeah. The guard came in, and I'll never forget, his name was Ron. And he opened up the cell door, and there was a phone there. And he goes, anybody who needs to use the phone, use the phone. I figured out, in those days you had to press 9 to get an outside line. I pressed 8 to see if I get long distance, nothing. I pressed 7, nothing. 6, nothing. 5, nothing. 4, fucking long distance. I got to call my peeps in Jersey for 20 minutes apiece. You just figure out different things. Then they send you to a place where somebody looks you in the eye and says, strip down. And you got to go take a shower, and then you come out and they put a finger up your ass to see if you got contraband. And they give you tidy whities and an orange jumpsuit.
So they put like a rubber glove on and then lube their finger up?
It doesn't matter.
It does.
At that point, I didn't give a fuck. You're putting a finger up my ass. It breaks you down as a man as much as anything in the world. That's the first breakdown.
Wow.
To turn you around, to let you know they run you. They're going to stick it up your ass. Then you go to your cell, and those guys in there are not very nice. They weren't like the Boulder County Jail guys. Those guys would kick your bed and make you get up, turn your light on in the middle of the night, and say, get out of bed, we're going to do a search at 2 in the morning. Those people are not nice at all. Then I got transferred to Summit County Jail, which was a fucking paradise. Paradise. Handball all day outside. TV till 2 in the morning. TVs in your cell. Black and white TVs in your cell. Basic cable. You could be up all night. If you wanted to go to breakfast, you ate breakfast. If not, you could sleep through breakfast and we'd eat your breakfast for you. And then from there, they shipped me off to the Department of Corrections. That's where it's the nitty gritty. If you think black people talk at a movie theater at night, don't go there. Don't go there. Black people talk all night. It's 6 or 7 floors, and I was in there in August with full humidity in Canyon City, Colorado.
Wow.
All right, with a little window, you know, and I was like on the 3rd floor. I couldn't breathe. And in those days, they let you out. You took 2 showers a week, and 1 hour a day you went outside. After that, you were just in the cell by yourself. And at night it froze. In the daytime, it was like fucking being sweating in a fucking tin can. You were in a tin can in the daytime.
No air conditioning.
No, oh, shit. There's nothing. 2 showers. And then the 3 meals. And then the first week is good because you actually get out of your cell to go test. They test you everything. Your math, your English. They fucking put a bunch of pictures in front of you. They put you through psychiatry. They take your blood out. They do everything. And then they assess you. And then they have... I took care of all the dots. Okay? There's a bunch of dots you have to dot your I's. Like, if you have a high school diploma, you get a point. If you were working at the time of arrest, you get a point. If you were up to paying rent. So I got a bunch of points for that. It's so funny how, to talk about something very interesting, it's very interesting where this Harvey Weinstein case is going to go. It's very interesting where it's going to go. Right now, he has Benjamin Braff as an attorney. And if you see what happened, Benjamin Braff pushed for a dismissal, and he didn't get it. The lawyer said, the judge said a trial date. They're going to get a trial date. Harvey Weinstein's going to go throw more money to pay off time. Harvey's going to go for time. Then he's going to fire Benjamin Braff and show up with 2 women, primarily 1 black and 1 Asian, or 1 white and 1 Asian. And this is when this trial is going to get very interesting. Harvey's also going to hire millions of dollars in private investigators. They're going to interview boyfriends. They're going to interview. This case is going to be very interesting, unlike the Cosby case, where Cosby didn't really fucking...
How do you know he's going to do all this stuff?
Because I know this is what I would do. I know if you come to me and you go, I'm getting busted for this, what do I do? Because of how I grew up around those people, this is what you do. Benjamin Braff cannot ask a woman the same question a woman could ask a woman. So I'm going to go in there with either a black woman, an Asian woman, or a white woman. My first 2 choices are a black and an Asian woman.
You want to get the diversity angle?
I want to get the diversity angle, and I want to get that you're saying that because you're a black woman, Chinese woman. What I'm trying to stare at. Did you ever really watch The People versus O.J. Simpson?
No, I didn't.
Very interesting. And it's time that you sat now, the holidays.
Is that the FX version?
Yeah, the FX version.
I watched 1 episode. It seemed very good.
Very interesting how he put a dream team together.
How accurate is it?
It's going to cost you $10 million. Listen to me, G. You got 2 options. You go in there like Cosby and pay $2 million and make believe you're blind, or we put together a fucking... Did you see him? He went in there with that milky shit over his eyes like the guy from Kung Fu. Remember when we were kids, Kung Fu's father had like... Yeah, Kung Fu's father was like half blind and shit.
Yeah, I remember
that. He had that milk of magnesia on his eye and shit. That's how Cosby went in there playing like I'm sick routine.
He's got cataracts.
Who?
Cosby.
Yeah, but he didn't have cataracts.
Doesn't he have
when
something
was,
like that?
Not when he
He's got
dipped,
something
not when he put the
serious.
pill in the water. He didn't.
No, he knows what the pills
He
are.
knows what the fucking. So
He just
you know
takes
what I'm
3
saying?
steps, reaches
You show
to his
him
right.
a fucking. Yeah, he knows. But Harvey has to play this hand. This is what America's about to watch. They're gonna watch something fucking crazy.
You think?
Harvey knows he can't go in there and Benjamin Braff. Benjamin Braff had Gravano. Look at the list of who Benjamin Braff has. And Benjamin Braff can't attack a woman.
Joey, you look at like legal cases like sports.
Listen
You
to
do.
me,
Like,
bro.
he's got pencil and paper.
Listen to
he's
me.
writing
Here's-
all this down like
here's the beauty.
Like he's John Jones versus Gustafson.
I went to New York last week, and I went to the Metropolitan Museum of Art with my daughter. She loves art. And while I was sitting there, I had to say to them, go on your own. Because my daughter didn't want me taking pictures in front of the statues anyway. She's like, Daddy, get out of the pictures of the statues. So I'm like, what the fuck am I hanging out with you for? She was in the Chinese wing. I wanted to see the Armenian wing. But it was funny. I was thinking about when I was 21 and 22, Joe Rogan, I would get stoned to the gills and go to the Museum of Natural History, the Museum of my hobbies back then, since I was such a loner and people were looking for me and I was always a criminal. I would go over the bridge to either go to one of those museums or I would sit in the courtroom. I would go to a place that had a fucking Italian sandwich, and I'd get a bag of Wise potato chips and a 16-ounce Coke. And you go to any courtroom, the court starts at 7. At the Metropolitan downtown, I'd take the A train, and I'd walk. I forget now what, this is 1983, 81. I was a kid. And I would sit and I'd observe night court. I learned how to, plus I grew up in that.
You were what? You would sit and watch night court like you'd watch a basketball game, like a pickup game somewhere.
Yeah, with a sandwich and a soda and potato chips.
I think a lot of people don't realize you could just go to court.
And I would watch
You could do that.
12 people. I would learn how to set bail.
Can you do that anytime you want? Can you just get in there and watch?
In the 80s, yes. Now there's bomb detectors. You have to have the reason why you're there.
Do you have to? What if you're interested in the case?
Yeah, you go down there and just watch it. And,
What if for whatever reason, there's a speeding thing, like someone lost their license and they got arrested driving and trying to get away from cops?
Yeah.
You can go watch
I
that.
can go. I'm supporting Joe.
I would like to
sit
go
in the
and
back.
see. I would like to see what the fuck was going on when those guys are trying to get away from the cops and the helicopters are chasing them with the spotlights and they just keep going. Like, what the fuck were you thinking? Like, what? I would like to get to that courtroom hearing. I want to see that guy. I want to look at that guy that was like running from the cops with the fucking spotlight from the helicopter on him. He knew he wasn't going to get away, and he's cutting people off and driving the fucking side of the. Nobody ever gets away. Has anybody ever gotten away recently? Well,
The other night, something
a
happened.
parking garage.
happened?
They couldn't find him. He
Oh,
just
he
went
got
to,
in
like
a
mall.
parking garage.
Yeah, like they get away.
The percentages, let me explain something to you.
right?
The percentages are very fucking low.
Right.
It's tough to get away, bro. They got you. Once those helicopters spot you, you're running through neighborhoods.
You got to make
It's
sure
3
if
years.
you're going into a mall, they have cameras. They could rewind the cameras
Right.
and watch you go. If you're running into the mall, they're going to know there he is. We'll spot
Just a
him.
card. That's they lost.
They what happens to you? You want to know what happens to you?
What happens to you?
All right, first of all, usually Sky 9 is following you. So they
That's
gotta
the news?
Yeah, they got to put you on the floor, kick your legs, do everything by procedure on camera. Then they pick you up, they handcuff you, they put you in the side of the car. The guy tells you his whole white version of what happened. The pursuit started on the 5.
The white person.
Yeah, and he's wanted for
Subject.
fucking, yeah,
Suspect was moving at a high rate of
Then they
speed.
fucking, if I just had to chase you for 20 miles, how pissed am I at you?
Oh, yeah.
So they put you in the fucking trunk, and they put you in the back seat in front of everybody so the cameras take pictures, and they put a cop next to you. And on the drive day, you got a couple backhands to your face. You know what I'm saying? That you hit the steering wheel or something. They hit you a couple times. Then you go in there, and you sit in a holding tank, and then you fucking... if you're with one another person, you just shut your fucking mouth. You want to call your lawyer, I'll call him later. You want to call your lawyer because you want one of the other guys to get a lawyer. So then like that, you have to get, it's conflict of interest. So if me, you, and Jamie get arrested right now, I'm going to shut my mouth and tell you I'm going to call my attorney later because I know for a fact Jamie's going to get a public defender. So now I can't get a public defender because that's conflict of interest. So the state has to pay for a different attorney for me.
Whoa.
A lot of people don't know that. So if you get arrested with 2 or 3 people, you keep your mouth shut. Yeah, I'll call my attorney later. You have an attorney? Yeah, I forget his name. Let Jamie cop the public defender. Now the 2 public defenders can't represent you. So now you get a better chance of getting a better attorney. And the state pays for it. It's on the own. So next time you pay for your mortgage, you go, God damn it, these state taxes are high. It's because a jerk off like me went with fucking Johnny Rambarabats and fucking he wants $800 an hour, even though the state will give him $400 an hour. It's like wholesale, you know what I'm saying? But at least I got a better type of attorney.
You game the system.
You game the system.
Nice.
It really is fucking crazy how I love figuring this shit out.
You're writing things down like you weren't even thinking. You just automatically started writing down numbers and percentages and shit.
Oh yeah, I know all this shit.
Like a sport.
I grew up in this shit.
It is like a sport.
So that's what he'll do. And by the time Harvey brings on a rape case, you got to go up there and relive the story and tell the dates. And if there was a rape kit, it's very fucking tough. This is going to be very interesting, bro. What's going to happen here? The only thing is, anything he cops to, they're going to come back at him like OJ and try to sue him. So then he'll just live in Florida making fucking Super 8 films down in fucking Miramar, Florida, wherever the fuck you go.
It is crazy when you see someone like him.
You can't get sued because they work the system. I'm not saying nothing bad here. That's what your advisors and your people around you will tell you. He's in hot water for the rest of his life. Because even if he gets that down to like an assault charge, and he has to serve 8 months, 12 months, which is really 8, once he gets out, all the civil suits are going to come at him. And then he has to pull an OJ and move to Florida where they can't touch your pension or some bullshit money he had hidden or something like that.
Wow.
It's really crazy.
This is not unrelated to what we're talking about right now. So this has happened, I think, since we've been live. Kevin Spacey uploaded this video on his YouTube channel where he's in character as Frank Underwood. And since this has come out today, he's now been indicted on rape charges in Massachusetts, I believe.
Whoa.
Felony rape charge.
So it's his plea to get his job back?
This might have come out without him knowing that was going to happen. I don't know. I was going to see if you wanted to watch it and see what he's doing.
Should we watch it? If we watch it, we're going to get kicked off of YouTube, right?
It's news. It's fair use-ish.
Ish.
I mean, it should be definitely fair use. We can at least watch a minute or something, like 30
right.
seconds of it and see what he's doing.
He's washing his hands.
I know what you want. Oh, sure, they may have tried to separate us, but what we have is too strong. It's too powerful. I mean, after all, we shared everything, you and I. I told you my deepest, darkest secrets. I showed you exactly what people are capable of. I shocked you with my honesty, but mostly I challenged you and made you think. And you trusted me, even though you knew you shouldn't. So we're not done, no matter what anyone says. And besides, I know what you want. You want me back. Of course, some believed everything and had just been waiting with bated breath to hear me confess it all. They're just dying to have me declare that everything said is true and that I got what I deserved. Wouldn't that be easy if it was all so simple? Only you and I both know it's never that simple, not in politics and not in life. Okay. But you wouldn't believe the worst without it.
We get it.
He's in
character,
yeah,
100%.
That's supposed to be dead in the show, correct? Yeah, it's weird. That's
This
weird.
is strange. That's strange to watch. Because you know what's strange is he seems a little off his game, right?
I mean,
But
I don't know if
even
anyone asked
if
him
he
to
was
do that.
playing Frank Underwood,
Yeah.
he seems a little off. Like, okay, we're a little tense on that one. Let's
Oh yeah.
let's get into this. You're Frank Underwood. Come on, man. Kevin, you're Frank Underwood. I'm Frank Underwood. And then boom, hit it a second time.
Yeah.
The second take felt smoother. You know, it seemed like acting.
Yeah,
It's
yeah.
weird. It's not like. It's a great character. I mean, that character's a fucking great character. I mean, the Frank Underwood character is like one of the all-time TV characters. But that's just weird.
You just brought him into real life.
That's
kinda.
so strange.
So
he
he's
was
really gotten
himself.
Yeah, so I'll show you what happened on this is what
For statutory?
Fox News, according to Fox News, but this is everywhere else too. He shared this video as he's announced that he's facing felony sexual assault charges for assaulting a teenage son of a former news anchor in a Nantucket bar in 2016.
Jesus.
Thought he was going off on that powder. God knows the power they give you and what you buy into. Just to make that tape just shows you how fucking creepy he's getting now.
I really think to be that good at acting, you gotta be out of your fucking mind. Kevin Spacey's a bad motherfucker when it comes to acting. All the horrible things he's done aside, there's a quality about someone that's that good. You know, they're just got a certain amount of insanity to them. This is not apologizing for his actions. Everything he did is horrendous. But I mean, to be surprised that you're seeing him seem crazy there, no, that's not surprising. He's too good to not be crazy. Like I would assume that they're all when they're not crazy. I'm shocked. You know, when someone is seems to like Daniel Day-Lewis doesn't seem to be crazy, right? He just seems to be obsessed. He just seems to be obsessed with work. Maybe I'm wrong. I think all those brilliant motherfuckers are out of their mind. It's just his out of his mind is.
You ever have a German Shepherd?
Horrible. I did when I was a kid.
Okay.
My grandparents did, actually.
German Shepherds are very smart, intelligent dogs.
Yeah.
But they all have a quirk. They all have a quirk. You know, my mom wouldn't neuter hers. If she had a female, and they'd bleed once a month, which made them even fucking crazier. So when I was a kid, my mom had one that you can go to next to a purse. My buddy Stinky had one that you could. My buddy Stinky had a German Shepherd that was pure, authentic. You could walk in the house, have a great time. I dare you to make a move for the door. So he bit all our friends in the ass. He didn't like when people left. Every one of us, because of the extreme of what we do, including yourself, has to have some, something. You and I were on the phone last week speaking about Bill Burr. He went on a helicopter. He plays the drums.
Yeah.
He's a comedian. He's a dad. He does an animated series. So here you are in a helicopter with Bill Burr flying around the city. But 2 nights earlier, you were laughing at him on stage while he made fun of some fucking. When I saw him last, he was hysterical, making fun of the Obama tour.
Yeah.
This is
Michelle
Obama time. So you follow me?
Yeah.
Those extremities is what makes you good at your main thing. The fact that fucking
the fact that he does all those different things.
The fact that Cowboy Cerrone fights at a high level of competition, but then 2 weeks later he's high diving off a cliff or motorcycle racing.
Not just that, he does it while he's in training.
While he's in training.
Yeah.
That's what makes people who the fuck they are.
Yeah.
When it comes to drugs, psychedelics or the hard shit, you get these people that for years I heard rumors about certain actors that they show up on the set still coked up from the night before. But give them 3 cups of coffee, give them breakfast, let them take a shower, and they're whoever they're supposed to be. So for those 8 hours, they kept it together.
Yeah.
For the other 20, they were a fucking mess.
Well, look at guys like Nick Nolte, right? Nick Nolte's one of the greats, for sure, right? I mean, unbelievable actor. And he's had some serious substance abuse issues in his past.
Jan Michael Vincent
Yep.
should have taken over Hollywood. Watch The Mechanic.
Yeah.
We have, listen, bro. The Me Too movement was a great movement. It made people, whatever the words, to let people know what was going on. But what do you think happened to Marilyn Monroe? She was the first Me Too victim. Marilyn Monroe was, if you look at it from an angle, they passed her around, Joe Rogan. between the president, Nick Bonacani, the fucking mobster in Chicago, and who else passed her around? She was married to Mickey Mantle. She was married how many fucking times?
She was married to the playwright, too,
They
right?
tormented that poor girl. Then they found her, dead of alcohol or whatever. No. To me, Marilyn Monroe, when I see Marilyn Monroe, she's the first fucking original Me Too. You know, they're knocking down all of Gardner and Schrader on Sunset Boulevard. But everything is closed. The Nerd Melt is closed. Everything is closed on that block. The only thing that's still open is that flower shop. They finally decided to close after 1,000 years. But that was the flower shop, where if you wanted to take Marilyn Monroe to impress her, you had to order flowers from that flower shop. That was what it was famous for. That DiMaggio, Sinatra, everybody ordered flowers for her for that shop. If you knew her, they'd say, what is she like? Get flowers from that place on Sunset. But she was the original. Come on, dog. Think about how tragic her life was. And she was beautiful. She was young, and I had them all. But all of a sudden, a slick young guy comes along with his olive oil voice and his tight shoes, and he takes her away from me. I'm a man that cannot be humiliated. Isn't that what that dude tells Waltz? Isn't that what he tells Robert Duvall when he comes over and tells him he wants Sinatra in the movie?
Yeah.
And he goes, there's a piece of ass, and I've had them all, and she was the best piece of ass. But just to show you, it's not about dollars and cents. I put singing lessons into her, dancing lessons. She was going to be a fucking star. But all of a sudden, your boy comes along with his olive oil voice and his shiny shoes, and he takes her away from me. I'm not a man to be humiliated. You know what that felt like? And he goes off on him. He throws fucking what's-his-name out. The next morning he wakes up and the dead horse is in his bed.
That's right.
That's the speech he gives him. That Sinatra fucking took his girl.
That's right. The horse in the bed scene was one of the most fucked up scenes ever in a movie.
Especially when you're 10.
Yeah, because they used a real horse's head.
Oh, did they really?
Oh, yeah. They killed a fucking horse for that scene. 100%. That ain't a fucking rubber horse. That's a real horse's head. You ever watch it again?
No. I
don't think I'm mistaken. I'm pretty sure I remember this. I remember that it was... I might have a shit memory.
I think that they might fucking throw you in jail.
Today?
Even then in the 70s.
In the 70s you can get away with this,
Do you
especially
remember
if you're doing it in another country.
What's that movie Burt Reynolds made where he was going to throw the dog out the plane and the inspector showed up and they kept saying, oh, shit.
What?
That's the movie when he's the stuntman and Jan Michael Vincent comes to take his job. There's an old Burt Reynolds movie, Hopper.
Oh, wow.
Hopper. That's a movie about Burt Reynolds being Burt Reynolds, the baddest stuntman of all time. But then Jan Michael shows up, and Jan Michael's going to eat his lunch. But then Burt Reynolds puts Jan Michael in his place, and they make the jump in the car together. But the funny thing about that movie is that he has to jump out of a building, and the guy that played the inspector was a wacky guy.
What do you got here, Jamie?
This is a Snopes article. It's true. They had
Okay.
slaughtered a horse.
The studio had encouraged Francis Ford Coppola to use a fake horse head, but he didn't like the mock-up. His scouts found a horse ready for slaughter at a dog food plant in New Jersey. The art director picked one that looked like the horse in the film and said, when that one is slaughtered, send us the head. He said one day a crate with dry ice came with a horse's head in it. Fuck. Well, sounds like they're going to kill the horse anyway. That's probably better than not using it, right? But people have they served horse rectum once on Fear Factor, and horse people got real mad. They got very mad. Is this the scene?
Yeah.
Here we go. Can you imagine being this poor fuck and being entangled with the mob back then? This is supposed to be filmed in what, like the 50s? That's what it was? It's supposed to take place in the 50s?
Yeah, I'm not showing it. Just
you know, you
viewers.
can't. Right. Oh, the people at home.
They can look it up. It's a very famous.
What's really scary about this scene is that they came into your house while you were sleeping. They didn't wake you up.
Yep, and they put a horse's head under your
They left
sheets.
a message under your sheets.
So look, he realizes there's some blood. Now he's looking around. He's like, what the fuck? What the fuck is this? How good is this actor? Who's this actor? What's his name? He's been in everything.
What the fuck is this blood?
Yeah, he's looking at the blood. It's all over his fucking sheets. I mean, it is fucking crazy. And that's real blood, too. And there's the horse's head. And he starts screaming. Ah. They chopped his fucking horse's
That's
head
hysterical that he
off and
took.
stuffed it in bed with him. That was like a prize stallion that he had, right?
He fucking took him, and then he insulted. He insulted him. He goes, so you can get out, and I ain't no band leader. And he goes, yeah, I heard about that story, because that was a story. Michael tells the chick at the thing, how do you know Sinatra? And she goes, well, my father's godfather's to him. He's his godfather. And he goes, what does that mean? And he goes, he sang with the Tommy Dorsey band. And Tommy said, I'm not releasing him. And they put a gun to his head. Luca Brasi put a gun to his head and said, you're either going to sign it or your brain is going to be across it. Which one? And they paid $1 for Sinatra.
Jesus Christ. Oh, my God.
So that's why when this guy shows up, he goes, I ain't no fucking band leader. And that was the last thing he tells some guy like Robert Duvall. Robert Duvall says, if you mind, I'll have a plane. I'll have your driver sent over a plane, get me to the plane, because Vito Corleone is a man of insisting bad news right away and hearing bad news right away. And he goes, you go tell him. And the next morning he wakes up with a fucking dead horse. Jesus Christ, what a way to send somebody a message, though.
That was a good fucking movie. All those movies were great. But the problem is it got Italians way too into being Italian. They started overemphasizing it.
They got a little too crazy. I will tell
Right?
you. I will tell you this, Joe Rogan, and I told you this a couple of weeks ago. And I know it's tough for you. It's tough for me. Subtitles, but this episode of Narcos has really been one.
Are they doing it all in subtitles?
No, they got a lot of English, a lot of English, but it's tough for people to watch. But like, I thought the guy who played Pablo was a bad. Like I was saying the other day, I was telling somebody, you know what, man? I grew up watching American movies and I loved them, but my undercurrent was watching Spanish television at night. From the age of 5 to 8 or 9, there was a couple novellas that I really appreciated. And I kind of liked the acting. I was like, these guys could fucking act. But I forgot all about it. And then I watched Man on Fire. And Man on Fire had some phenomenal Spanish acting. Plus they had the Italian guy, Giancarlo Giannini. How bad of a motherfucking Italian are you when your name is Giancarlo Giannini? He's the one that was in Hannibal. That Hannibal stabs him and then fucking throws his guts out in the fucking. I don't know if you've ever watched Hannibal.
No, I never watched
He shows
Hannibal.
up and that's how he kills him through the stomach. But he's the cop in Man on Fire. The one who pinches the girl's ass. And
Yeah.
Man on Fire had a lot of good like side actors, but a lot of great Spanish acting. So ever since Narcos and Horta and all these shows are coming back, I'm watching these dudes and I'm like, bro, these guys from old soap opera, Spanish soap operas, which is tough. If you've ever did a soap opera, it's a tough. I did General Hospital, and let me tell you something. If I would have gotten off a plane and done General Hospital, I would have gotten fired. Thank God I was here 12 and 13 years, and I knew my way around the set. You know, when you book a soap opera, nobody talks to you. You do know that.
Yeah.
Like you walk into ABC over there on Ugat Street, you walk in, they look at your ID and they go to room 27. You go to your office, your suit's there. Well, so the lady comes in and she goes, how you doing? My name is Mildred. Watch the TV and look for your numbers to come up. So you sit down, you write your numbers. I'm in scene 27, chapter 8. And you sit there with wardrobe on. Bro, I would go there at 8 o'clock and I'd be in my car at 9:45.
Really? How many soap operas did you do?
3. General Hospital, 3 episodes. I
No
recurred.
kidding.
Yeah.
Find that.
I'm looking.
3 episodes of General Hospital.
That's amazing.
I played a recovering fucking preacher who had been out in prison, and I came out, and now it was a fucking marriage thing. Bro, when they called me, and they're like, we're interested in you sending a reel. And I'm like, wait, whoa. So Benjamin Brett, those good-looking dudes, they started on General Hospital, and you want me on General Hospital. Are you fucking crazy? I sent them a reel. I swear to God, my agent's like, they really want your reel, Joey. What do you want me to do? I'm like, go send it to them. What do you want me to do? They're never going to hire me. Bro, they called right back. Come on down for 3 days.
Wow.
You walk in there, Joe Rogan, you give them your ID. It's that fast. You go to your room. It'll say scene 28, prepare, wardrobe. You're 10 minutes away. You put whatever wardrobe they give you on.
Do they have cue cards for you?
They have under the cameras. It's a 3-camera shoot. You go out. It says, okay, actor number 28, come out. You come out. How you doing, Joe Rogan? Very nice to meet you. Okay, let's do this. Action. Boom, 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 boom. Let's say you fuck up your line. They don't give a fuck. Like if you start from we're starting from that line. Bop, 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 bop. Cut. Moving ahead.
Wow.
And all of a sudden they switch you out. Blah, blah, blah. They put makeup on you. And they're like, you're not in the scene. Just sit over here for 5 minutes. Bro, 5 minutes, they come right back to you. All right, you ready? You're in scene 3. And you're like, what the fuck just happened? Bop, 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 bop. Bob, you're a rap. Thank you for coming down. Nobody talks to you. Nobody does nothing.
Huh. So it's not, they're just trying to get it out quick.
They don't hold your hand. It's 8 to 5.
Wow.
Being on a soap opera is probably the easiest way. Like if you land on General Hospital, you could be on General Hospital for 30 years. That dude's been on there for 30 years.
Yeah.
You know, you could be
on there.
A couple
people have been on it for a long time, right?
Yeah, so it's 8 to 5.
General Hospital, was that Luke and Laura?
I don't
know. That was Luke and Laura, right? Remember Luke and Laura?
No,
dude,
there was one I got into.
There was a thing that happened in soap operas, and it happened while I was a kid. Luke and Laura transcended General Hospital and became a thing all throughout the world.
These people?
Well, yeah, these people.
Yeah,
it was weird.
I remember this.
Didn't make sense because the dude's hair was weird and there was a strange couple.
I did a scene with him, dog.
They were weird.
Yeah, I did a scene with him.
She was a little too hot for him. It didn't make a whole lot of sense, but it worked. Like for whatever reason, it caught fire culturally and became a big thing. And I think I was in high school at the time.
Their wedding was in 1983.
Okay, yeah. So I was in high school. While I was in high school, this was all going down, and everybody paid attention to Luke and Laura. It was like the General Hospital thing took over the country. It was like on the cover of People magazine and shit. It was everywhere. It was this one weird relationship on a soap opera for some reason. Just became this gigantic phenomenon that everybody was watching. I mean, I was watching it. Like I said,
30 million viewers.
30 million views. You know how fucking crazy that is, Joey Diaz?
What was the show with the good-looking singer? I wish that she was Jesse's girl.
Oh, Rick Springfield, General Hospital.
Okay,
same show.
Then I watched that.
But it wasn't even him. See, if he was with Laura,
I watched that
made
before
sense.
that.
He's a handsome son of a bitch, that Rick Springfield. You know, and he was a double threat. He was on General Hospital, and he was a badass singer. That Jesse's Girl, that song, if you're at fucking like Wild Wings and Jesse's Girl comes on, you get
lose
excited.
Your mind. The beginning of it.
We can't find a woman like that, Jesse's Girl. He's still out there hitting it, still touring.
Yeah, he's still touring.
I think he was at the Canyon Club in Agora. Mm-hmm. He's out there. That dude was, when I was in high school, that dude was on top of the fucking food chain. Every girl had a poster of him on the wall.
Yeah, I remember. Me too.
He's in Lake Tahoe next month.
February.
Good for him.
It's crazy that whatever soap opera was on from 12 to 1 was a big-time soap opera. And there was a bar in New York and there was a bar in New Jersey in my neighborhood that if you walked in there from 12 to 1 and you said a word, somebody would tell you to shut the fuck up. And it was 98% men. And they would serve lunch. And it was the one I would go to was the Midtown Lounge, but there was another one.
So there was a lunchtime soap opera.
Yeah, that men left their jobs, construction guys, and they would sit there and watch this soap opera on 2 TVs like it was a Yankee game.
What the fuck?
And then they would go back to work.
How strange is that? How strange is that was a thing at one point?
It was a big thing at one point. And I still remember, you know, if you dated a girl and she stayed in on Wednesdays to watch Dynasty, bitch, you stayed in on Dynasty night. If that's
But
what it meant to get a nookie cookie.
That makes sense for like today. It's translatable, you know, Sunday night, Game of Thrones is on, or whatever night it's on. It's like people do get together and they watch it live as it goes on. That makes sense. What doesn't make sense is that the market for those kind of soap operas was like, it was appealing to men and high school kids. Like we were all watching it.
Who shot JR, bro?
That was Dallas. But that's
I understand.
regular
But
TV
now,
show at
now
nighttime.
we're talking. Then,
Yeah.
not only were they sucking you in the daytime in those days, this is all the 80s. We're talking about the 80s, correct?
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah.
What the fuck was going on at night?
Both, right?
You had Dallas, and you had, what was the one on ABC with Alexis Carrington and
The Dynasty.
and the Dynasty? That was badass.
That was a badass show.
That girl right now, the chick who played the princess on that was supposed to be Alexis's daughter, and she was having an affair with Dexter. She's the one right now that's going through that thing with her daughter in the sex ring. Up in Connecticut, there was like a sex ring, Novo or whatever.
Oh, right. Like a.
She's a
it
princess
was
in
like
real life.
a cult.
Duchess, yes. She's the one that's going through all that with the daughter. I remember her being on Dynasty as a hot, and she was Alexis's daughter, but Dexter was Alexis's husband. She had something for Dexter. Dexter. How good of a name is that?
Look at that cast. Joan Collins. She was still hot back then. She's the original MILF, right?
Yeah.
For sure. Because she was super hot.
Find the
Probably.
picture.
How old do you think she was back then? 50?
Yeah, she was 51, and she was
Was she?
fucking Dexter.
She was hot as fuck.
And look at Ricardo Montalban. How much that dude got paid on that fucking island. How they
Welcome
haven't done
to
a
Fantasy Island.
How they haven't done a remake of Fantasy
They did.
fucking Island? They
They
did.
did. A comic. Well, a couple comics went out there and did it. Yeah, they had. It was on TV for a little bit.
No, they fucked.
Or was
it
it
up
the
there.
Love Boat?
Yeah.
Was it the Love Boat?
Yeah.
Am I confusing it?
I think so.
Or did
The
I
Love
think it was
Boat
Fantasy
came
Island?
on before fucking.
No, but I mean a new version of it. There was either a new version of the Love Boat or a new version of Fantasy Island. So one of the two.
Neither of them are showing up.
Neither
The
one?
Dynasty actually was remade.
But it was in the 90s. It was in the 90s. Because
Oh yeah.
do you remember
the
Jerry
Love Boat,
Red Wilson?
The next
yeah.
wave.
God bless his soul.
Jerry Red Wilson was supposed to be filming that. What was it? Which
The
one
Love
was it?
Boat, The Next
The
Wave.
Love Boat. Jerry Red Wilson was supposed to be filming that show, and he went to a doctor, and turned out he had meningitis, and I guess apparently he left the doctor's office because
He didn't want to wait because he had to go on a honeymoon.
And he, by the time he got there, I guess flying when you have that's really bad. By the time he got there, he died, or he died shortly after. It's horrible, horrible to hear. He was a good guy.
He was a good guy and a funny guy.
Funny
God
guy.
rest his soul. Yeah,
Had a
he was
lot of
funny
fucking
dude.
character. I worked with that kid a lot in New York. We did gigs together on the road together a little bit too.
That was a good little clique. I remember living in Seattle, and he came up, Louis C.K. came up. All those guys were all coming up together at that time in New York. So it was a good bunch of guys, you know.
Yeah. Yeah. Man. They do remake a lot of fucking television shows, though. I mean, it is fucking ridiculous. They remake so many shows. It makes it like, is it that hard to come up with a new line of thought? Like, how many more zombie shows are they going to have? They have a new zombie show, right?
Yeah, I think they're making World War Z as a TV
Isn't it
show.
in
I
China?
think, or
But there's a new Walking Dead in China now, I think. Like, okay. Jesus Christ. I think I know what's going to happen. Bad things.
You know, like you have, when you were growing up, I don't know where the fuck you grew up. Let's just say Boston for a while. There was one fucking sandwich shop, and you went in there all the time. It was an Italian guy, and he made you a legit sandwich. And all of a sudden, another guy opened up. But that was cool. But now Subway came, and now the Safeway started making sandwiches. So now nobody's making money. It's the same thing with movies and TV. It's like there's so much content, we can't keep up with it.
Can't keep up.
You can't keep up with the amount of content that's out there. So when you try to remake a show, I want it to be, they remake a ton of shit, but they forget the main element of it, which is the heart aspect of it.
Let me tell you something you got to see that's good, that's out right now on Amazon Prime. Marvelous Mrs. Maisel.
Tremendous. About
Have you
the
seen
comedian
it?
stuff?
Have you watched it?
Yeah. The 2 episodes of my
Yeah,
wife.
she's a stand-up comic, and she's hanging out with Lenny Bruce. It's fucking amazing.
It's a good little show.
It's a
real
real
cute
good
little
show.
Yeah.
It's a real good show. This is the first show I've ever watched on Amazon Prime. It's very easy to do. You just set it up through the Apple TV.
My
You
wife
log in,
has done
bam.
the whole fucking thing. She
It's
does
fuck-
the whole thing.
It's like, but the thing about like things like Apple TV or Netflix that are so good is once you're logged in, it's right there, right? You go to it, it's easy. We're so lazy now that the extra step to log in to another service, whether it's whatever it is, you know, another thing on top of the getting onto iTunes. Oh, I got to do one more thing. Oh my God, I got to use my password. Like that little extra step, even just setting it up. Once you get it set up, you can just go to it. But before you do that, that extra step bothers the shit out of people for whatever reason.
It's ease.
It's easy. It's not hard to do, though.
I just have my wife program for me on my iPad. I don't know nothing.
You don't know
I
nothing.
got in the plane. I put it into airplane mode. I hit the Wi-Fi thing, and next thing you know, I'm watching fucking TV.
I get it.
I try to keep it like I'm right now. I'm on the second time of watching Narcos Mexico because I like the acting so much. That the guy Diego Luna, Joe Rogan, he ain't no joke, dog. That dude was a tu mamá también. It's such a difference. He's such a badass motherfucker. I don't want to spoil it for you, but fuck you. If you haven't watched it by now, you're slipping.
Yeah, I only
anyway.
watched the first 2 seasons. The dude got,
You watched the Pablo seasons.
yeah.
He was very good. He was a very good actor. I enjoyed him. Then the 3rd season was about the Cali cartel, and that was okay. This Mexican one, this Sinaloa one, this is where Felipe's from. When you watch this shit, it explains a lot why Felipe is the way Felipe is. I tell you what, if I could move to Sinaloa, I would. I belong down there. It's just a city full of fucking crazy thieves and shit. You know, they're just crazy. And they figured out how to grow weed in the desert, and they were making $30 million a week. A bunch of crazed fucking Indians.
Oh, we never found out. How much, what percentage of marijuana did weed used to have?
You were right, but it's also really hard to test back then, and they combusted
Right.
Yeah,
it,
they
so it
weren't
fucked up
testing back
the
then.
testing and,
Right,
but yeah,
The
you were
strongest weed I was smoking back then was chocolate Thai weed. That weed made you go fucking crazy.
Someone did explain to me the difference between strains that were raised in Afghanistan and strains that came from other places.
Right, like right now, Dean, our friend from the store, he got a seed from Afghani weed from the old days.
Shit.
So he repollinized it, I guess the word to use is.
Is that the word?
And he keeps trying to get that seed. But I still remember smoking Afghani weed. You were going for a ride.
You were going for a ride, but your tolerance is so high now, and the weed you're smoking is weapon grade. I mean, you are smoking some of the most insane weed. I had a vape pen the other day, a simple little vape pen. I took one hit. I was obliterated. I couldn't believe
you get
how
high now.
goddamn strong they are now.
You got to be really careful now. with
I was
weed.
cocky. I was treating it like the old ones, especially those disposable ones. You can take 3-4 hits before you even feel it. One hit, obliterated. But
Especially since I stopped with the edibles. That changed the game on me.
yeah,
The edible drop changed the game on me.
you 100% off the edibles.
100%.
Really?
I got our buddy George has 1,000 milligram edibles, and he gave me 2 bags. I think like tonight, I'll take a bite out of the edible because it's Christmas. But I had to cut it out because it was just killing me. It was taken away from my other high. I enjoy taking 2 hits off a pipe in the morning. Gets me going, gets me listening to music. I'm writing a little bit. I'm loose. I love being loose. I went to Muay Thai at 9. I had 2 hits in me. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
I enjoy that shit. I can't. When I go on the road, I don't bring a pipe. So I got to bring joints with me. If I got to come down off the 11th floor and walk 2 blocks, I got to smoke the whole fucking joint. So I got to go back to my room and pass out. Like, that's how strong the weed is. Like, it just kills me. Especially now that I'm not eating them anymore.
Yeah.
Just kills me, mummifies me. I go back to the room, I watch 2-3 episodes or something, I gotta take a nap.
There's some scientists making weed now. I mean, they got real botanists involved. There's money in it now. And now that it's opening up in Canada, it's going to be really weird. Because in Canada, they're making it legal, right? It's legal now. So I'm pretty sure R.J. Reynolds, is that who it was, who just dumped a shit ton of money into some marijuana production in Canada? That's going to follow suit in the United States. There's too much money involved in it. And it's going to be good for everybody. It's going to be good for capitalism. It's going to be good for people getting marijuana. As long as regular people can sell marijuana too. Let fucking R.J. Reynolds, as long as they don't put some restrictions like they were trying to put. Was it you, Jamie, that told me about what they were trying to do in Ohio, where they were trying to make it set up where you could grow weed, but only a couple companies could grow it. So the weed would be legal, but only a couple companies would monopolize. Yeah. And then everybody was like, fuck this.
But they ended up passing it, I believe.
That's terrible. It's sad that's such a corruption. That's like saying, okay, you could have tomatoes, but we're the only ones who grow these fucking tomatoes. Like, why? It's a tomato. That's a law against nature. So you're saying that nature can't take place? I can't put a seed in the ground and grow my own shit. Get the fuck out of here. Is it legal? It's legal. Okay. How's it different than corn? How's it different than a fucking a pear tree? It's not. It's a legal life form. It's a life form. It's a plant. You're allowed to grow it. And if you say you can't grow it, you got a corrupt system. You got some bullshit law that you weaseled in because you greased up some assholes and the other people don't have as much money as you do. It's the only reason why that ever happens. Or people are so desperate to get legal weed that they let some dickhead dominate the entire industry, some greedy fuck. No, the deal is it's legal or it's not legal. Otherwise, we're in some sort of a weird dictatorship. You know, this is not, you can't just decide it's legal, but you're the only one who gets to make money. Fuck you. It's a plant. That's crazy. Imagine if you owned all the pine trees in the country. It's all me. It's my country, my pine trees. You want to buy pine? You're buying it from me. I find you with a fucking Christmas tree, I'll take you out. It's crazy.
Now, what happened last week with Cuomo?
I don't know.
In New York, he said he wants to legalize weed in New York.
Oh, yeah, he wants to make it recreationally legal in New York. Stupid to shoot down. You should be making money off of it. It exists no matter what you do. If you're a capitalist, if you're a person who believes in free market, you already have whiskey. You already have pills. People can get high. They're not sober. They're just not. Stop with the childish arguments. Give the fucking people freedom and make money off it, you dummies. That's what everybody should be doing. They should make it legal and profit off it. And it shouldn't stop with that either. It should go to mushrooms. It should go to a lot of different things. They should set up clinics. Set up places where people can go through mushroom therapy. People that they're coming back from the war, PTSD, you know. There's so many different benefits for it. Depression, people that are getting ready to pass away. They have extreme anxiety. A lot of that is alleviated by mushrooms. People that have gone through like extensive cancer treatment and realize they're terminal, one of the best things for these people is mushrooms. It helps them eases their pain and suffering in their last dying days. And it doesn't seem to have any negative effects, you know, other than the occasional person losing their fucking marbles, which is going to happen no matter what you do. It's something that should be studied, and it's something that should be free, and it could benefit people, so it should be fucking legal.
I think if everybody models what Colorado's doing, people will see it. There's a lot of naysayers in this business, and they don't understand that in Colorado you get tax rebates.
Not only that, Colorado's real estate went through the fucking roof.
Yeah, this is something that I hope most states go for. And I know that there's a back angle to it. It's a gateway drug. It's this, it's that. It depends what you do with it. The
only argument is traffic fatalities. That's the only argument. And
have we had a lot of traffic fatalities?
There have been an increase in traffic fatalities. But what I've read is it depends on who. The real problem is it's hard to find the study that's absolutely correct. Some say there's been an increase. Some say the increase corresponds to the population increase. I've read that too. I don't know if that's true, but that kind of makes sense that if you get more people in the city, you're going to have more people driving, you're going to have more traffic accidents, period. So if the number just goes up, but the population is increased by 14% or whatever it's done, that would kind of make sense. But also, let's be honest, some people don't drive very well when they're high. And if you're out there driving high and spacing out, you're a fucking idiot, you might slam into a car. That's entirely possible too. And to deny that that's possible seems silly. But I think that it's like everything else. There's people that are responsible people, and there's people that aren't. And there's people that are good drivers, and there's people that aren't. There's people that drive distracted. There's people that don't pay attention to shit, and then there's people that do. You know, whether they're high or sober. I would rather have you driving high than a lot of people driving sober. I know you don't fuck with your phone when you're driving. I've seen you drive. You drive. You take it fucking seriously. You look around. You're not interested in getting in any stupid car accident because you weren't paying attention. I've seen you drive. I'll fucking take you high any day of the week.
I'll drive.
Over the average idiot who's a cell phone addiction.
I drive very defensively. I watch everything. I watch everything coming from all angles, especially today. You have to double check everything when you drive.
Yeah.
Our dear friend Wendy Liebman got hit by a car, dog.
Yeah, I heard.
3 weeks ago, crossing the fucking street.
She broke both her legs.
Yeah.
Right?
I want people to understand that you have to have your eyes open at all times. I don't take nothing for granted. I don't care if that guy's stopping there. When I'm making that right, I'm watching that motherfucker. Plus, I got to watch for pedestrians. Because they will walk out anywhere. Next thing you know, you're dragging a guy 3 fucking blocks.
So I did not know that Wendy was hit by a car. I knew she was in a car accident.
No, she got hit by a car.
God,
and there was in the right of way, the whole thing. I mean, somebody was telling me the story. I mean, it was just, you have to pay fucking attention. Yeah. So I drive. There's only a little New York in my drive. Number 2, I drive away from people. I do take the 2 or 3 car lanes. I never did that till about 10 years ago. Till I rear-ended somebody. You know, we're driving in a place where you have to assume, unless you're fucking stupid, that 30% of the people for the last 10 years have been driving high. Then you got to add another 20% for people that are texting and driving. Then you got to add another 10% for people who are just visiting here and are looking around going, oh my God, look how beautiful California is. It's a fuck. Every time you get in a car, you have to drive a certain way. Was it how I thought 20 years ago? No, I want to get there. Why do you think I'm against high-speed cars? I want to do 90, Joe. I'm getting a Porsche. I'm doing 90. I ripped the ticket up. You give me a ticket, I'm ripping it up.
I knew you were going to get one of those Cadillacs for a while, but you decided not to.
Because I got a foot. You ever see my feet? My foot just...
They're very large.
They're very large. And once they rest on you, it's 90.
Okay, so when your foot's resting on that gas pedal.
I made it to San Diego and back.
Don't say anybody. Don't tell people. This is
illegal.
I
got to tell people the secret. It's not illegal.
Okay.
I'm sick and tired of people coming to me going, oh, my God, the drive to San Diego was horrific. What time did you go? 1 in the afternoon. Can I smack you now? Or should I smack you in the mouth later? That's 4 hours. That's 3.5. But
isn't that crazy that it takes that long?
But if you get in your car at 9 and you do fucking 80, because all you need to do is get out of L.A., once you pass the Commerce Casino, it's a riverdirty. Nobody gives a Frenchman's fuck. You stay in that second to left lane, and you're just doing 75, 80. It's an hour 45. On the way back, I made it from La Jolla in an hour 30.
Whoa.
Because that's the easy route. As soon as you hit the 5 North, you bang it out.
That's quick.
All the way to Camp Pendleton. You're hitting 80. You know what I'm saying? You don't give a fuck.
It's a weird
You got
area.
fucking serious on. It's nobody out there.
It's a weird area, though, too, when you're coming back from San Diego, because it's militarized.
And then you're hitting 80, 80, 80, 80, 80. Then when the road starts to thin, that means you're about to hit immigration. They're going to ask you if you got oranges. You know what? They're never out there. Those motherfuckers haven't been out there since 9/11. All right. Once I hit that point, I kick it to 100 till I hit Irvine. Once I hit Irvine Spectrum, I come down till about 80, 80, 80, 80, and then that's the L.A. 19 miles. Back up to 100, but then you're going to hit traffic.
Oh, my God.
Because you're going to hit the 10, the 5. Everybody's hooking up. You can get on the 101, but then I get back on that 134, and that 134, the 5 goes into the 134, and next thing you know, you're home. No drama. The night driving from San Diego is the way to do it.